Jake, the streak is over. The Celtics go down 116-101 against the Bucks. Very painful indeed. And I guess I saw Jack Simone tweet this out actually. If there's one person who might really enjoy this win, it might be Joe Mazzulla because it certainly wasn't us. How are you, Jake?
I'm good. The losses still don't hurt in the same way as
You know,
they have in the previous 4 years. So that's good, I guess. I'm realizing right now I forgot to get my cool camera because I just came from playback and the battery doesn't last for several hours.
Okay.
Alas. Yeah, the losses don't hurt quite as much, but I will say taking a Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma magnet ball to the face as a way to lose against a Bucks team that doesn't have Giannis, not enjoyable at all.
It was looking so good as well
So
to
good.
begin with. And if there's one positive takeaway, not to just immediately skew in the direction of Walsh, but 8 of 10 from the field, 20 points, only a -5 in a game that we lost by 15 points, and continues to be a bright spot. And in the first half, it was all of who's going to miss a shot first, Jaylen Brown or Jordan Walsh? This is incredible. It's more of the same. And then second half rolls around. And I think Jaylen Brown started it off with and yes, he's been money from the mid-range thus far this season, but just a little bit further out, closer to the 3-point line, deep mid-range, heavily contested, kind of I don't want to say lazy, but a little bit less effort in the creation of space and the creation of a good shot. And that kind of set the tone for what was just the building of cities, a nation's worth of cities made out of bricks. There were that many poor misses. It was pretty rough, and that set the tone for the rest of the quarter. And we could just never really claw back in. It feels
the third quarter, we were 4 for 22. That's crazy. And I thought the fourth quarter, the offense was really late third quarter and the early fourth quarter, the offense really was bad. I thought we generated a lot of good looks in the third quarter and nothing went in. And then it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. It was couldn't make a shot, divulged into okay, let me just try and make one shot and then we'll get going again. And that just was ISO. Anthony Simons came in and fucking just dribble, pull up three, just barely hit the rim type stuff. He was horrendous tonight. Anthony Simons, was 2 for 10. One of those came in garbage time. But Simons and Hauser were a combined 2 for 20. Hauser was 0 for 10. And Derek White, Sam Hauser, and Anthony Simons were 5 for 32.
Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, not great. It's with Simons, it's the classic. We're seeing this now though. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Anthony Simons, we were coming around to.
We worked trying.
We want to support the guys, right? We love the Celtics.
Totally.
We don't want to feel negative towards anyone on the team. And yet, the Gazas of the world and the Anthony Simons of the world, they make it tough if that is your approach to fandom. And Simons, he came in the third and it was okay, this is why you're here in theory to come in. The offense is completely dried up. ISO is kind of not the way that this team has found success, but sure, let's see it. Anthony Simons, you are a bucket. And he took the most difficult shots in the game. I know, you were saying, and you're right, they were generating some good looks, but there were a lot of really poor looks in the third quarter as well. Yeah. And Anthony Simons was the head of that spear, just ridiculous, low impact, and then very much the target of the Bucks offense as well. So just very net negative, to put it politely, game from Anthony Simons, Jake.
Cool.
Where else do you go with this one? Does it feel a little trap gamey?
Yeah,
to you? I guess
so.
the first half kind of negates that though, because they came out and they looked like themselves, and it was great, cool, more of the same. Celtics 6 win in a row. Here we go. And then they just came out second half and they looked like a completely different group of people.
I guess if we're going to look at the trap game thing, because I can definitely see how mentally this would be a trap game. You've won 5 in a row. You've just come off this really impressive stretch against a bunch of good teams for the most part. And this Bucks team doesn't have Giannis. They're 2-12 coming in here, 2-10 in their last 12 coming in. So you can definitely see how you would let your foot off the gas. I would say defensively, I thought it was a bit of a mess all night.
Hmm.
I know the offensive rebounding numbers, and the offensive rebounding for the Bucks must have all happened in like that second quarter. And
Yeah.
that felt like a moment where the Celtics had a chance to really push the lead out to like 20. And instead the Bucks were able to like get a bunch of second chance points and stay in the game. So that felt like a big flip right there. Shout out RJ. Evening, folks. Everyone not named Brown or Walsh shot 16 for 61. Sad way to say goodbye to playback. It was that was why we are going to miss playback, because even though the game sucked, it was fun to do it with everybody else, and that was always
Yeah,
the magic of playback.
for sure.
But Sam Esfandiari did say, "Don't, not goodbye. Maybe see you later. We'll
Yeah,
see."
what did he mean by that?
I don't know. He knows more about what's going on than me, so
Yeah, okay.
fingers crossed it does come back, because it is a ton of fun. But yeah, like sometimes it's a make or miss league,
Mhm.
and if you go 16 for 61, Sam Hauser got a bunch of good looks. Like while some of the offense wasn't good, there was some offensive. They got 13 offensive rebounds. They were battling in that third quarter. Like in the stretch where they were just like getting destroyed. Like what was the score in the third quarter? It was 27-13. While they were getting bludgeoned on the scoreboard, they were still playing hard. I thought, like fighting for offensive rebounds, trying to play hard at least. They just could not get shot. Even the good shots they were getting were not going in. And that's obviously just the NBA and the sport of basketball.
Well, yeah, and that's offensively. Defensively, you kind of touched on it for a second there. Like it just felt a little lackadaisical, and it has to be like you have to fault, I think, the Celtics there more than you have to credit the Bucks. It felt like the Bucks were getting like a lot of just like very wide open, easy lanes like down into the paint, and they outscored us 50-28 in points in the paint at the end, which is obviously a huge disparity. And I felt like I was kind of like tapping away at my laptop doing some work during this game, and every time I looked up, like Kevin Porter Jr. was just like kind of strolling down the paint, either scoring or like drawing a second defender and just dumping it off for the easy finish. And like I know like we don't have a litany of dominant defensive big men really, but like Cater played plenty of minutes. We found success with the Minot like at the 5 small ball lineup. Like we've seen this team find ways to kind of defend around the rim. I know they're not like league leaders by any means, but no excuse for the ease at which the Bucks scored in the paint tonight.
Yeah, I thought this was a rough Cater game, but I thought it was, as you were saying, guys were not containing the ball. They were getting blown by, and there was a lot of different guys. Minot had tough ones, but then I thought Cater had a really bad rim protection night and just was a beat slow on a lot of stuff. And then people, coming in late, leading to open threes, and then the Bucks made everything. So the Bucks ended up 45% from three. Yeah, that's always going to be tough. But Jordan Beard does say this, like they have been playing really well for a long time. We have kind of said like we're obviously on a hot streak right now. Is there a reverse coming? A correction coming?
Yeah.
Like are we closer to a 43 win, 44 win team as opposed to the 55 win pace that we've kind of been on now for a little while? We'll see. The Pistons game is going to be a good test because everyone's going to be up for that one.
They'll get up for sure.
M. Murphy chat, Bucks broadcast tonight apparently about our second half 3-point shooting. I've never seen anything like it because ironically, going back years now, like the Celtics always shoot well against the Bucks because we generate really good looks against the Bucks. We always have in the way that they play. And that wasn't dissimilar to even what was happening in parts of, obviously in the first half, but even in the second half when we've just talked about it. Like Sam Hauser had that possession where he missed 2 open catch and shoot threes, got a third offensive rebound, and then he missed a bunny at the rim. And like that felt like the moment the game ended.
One of many, I think. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to see that from. I hope we're not going to see that from Sam Hauser long term. But yeah, I know the possession we were talking about, where like it seemed like they had like multiple attempts on multiple offensive rebounds to like kind of deliver a bunny or like pull off a bunny. It's probably the wrong way of phrasing it, but yeah, get an easy bucket essentially. And yeah, very very telling, very tone setting of how the night played out from there. Hate to see it. Maybe they've just all got the news that Jason Tatum is coming back. Like
Yeah,
imminently, and they've
maybe.
kind of just taken their foot off the gas. It would explain a lot. Maybe the news came out in the second half in the
Well,
locker room there.
it does. This does feel like it happens sometimes, right? Where like no one's talking about the Celtics, no one's paying attention to the Celtics, and then they start winning. All the podcasts start talking about them. Joe Mazzulla, Coach of the Year buzz, and then you lose to the fucking Bucks without Giannis. Like,
Yeah.
and then now that everyone's paying attention, now we have to go through the actually the Celtics maybe they are frauds after all type of thing.
Yeah, here we are again. I know you said the losses like aren't affecting you as much. They brought me back to a point now where the loss stings, especially under these circumstances, because I've just like completely bought back into like we're awesome now. My wife is a high school teacher and will check in with me occasionally about like the tone of the NBA, so she can kind of like sound like she knows what she's talking about with hoops. And I was like, let them know the Celtics are fucking good again. And
Celtics
like,
are back.
Yeah, except they're not apparently, which sucks. But Jordan Walsh didn't affect him hearing his name in mainstream media, I should say. There's a tweet here from Taylor Snow that Jordan Walsh has tied a Celtics record for most career first halves with 15 plus points and 100% from the field. He has 2 in a 4-game span. Paul Pierce is the only other Celtic with 2 such career efforts in the play-by-play era. So just Paul Pierce and Jordan Walsh hanging out in the stats there. Love to see it.
The Jordan Walsh era continues to be great, at least for Jordan Walsh.
Yeah.
20-8 with 3 steals. Dude was awesome. And the fucking 3-point shot, man. It just looks good. He had one shot in the first half where it was like, it came to him late in the clock and there was a defender closing out and he just like fired and the form all looked really smooth and it was nothing but the bottom. I was like, damn, that's an impressive shot. So he continues to make shots, even like amidst the horrific shooting night for a bunch of guys. Yeah. Jordan Walsh and Josh Minot, both 3 for 4 for Walsh, 2 for 3 for Minot. And like, as bad as it was for Hauser, Derek, and Simons, like, you don't really worry about their shooting long term, right? So it's like, okay, well, yeah, they had off nights, but we continue to get positive shooting indicators from Walsh and Minot, and that's kind of a more important long term, the fact that those guys can actually shoot and make shots. So if there's your silver lining, is it doesn't actually matter that Derek White, Sam Hauser, and Anthony Simons couldn't shoot tonight because we know they can.
Yeah.
We're still not sure that Jordan Walsh and Minot can shoot tonight again. But Walsh was a fucking machine in that first half doing everything. And then when they were like they didn't even actually really make any semblance of a comeback, but there was one play where it was like, oh, maybe this is the beginning of a comeback because they scored a fucking basket. They put Walsh as a screener, short roll, downhill, and a beautiful finish over Bobby Portis. Mm-hmm. Like, he had another finish in the first half in the lane. I was like, over rim protector. I'm like, the game continues to just like be more and more impressive.
But if the rest of the team aren't going to step up and help Jordan Walsh, which is an insane sentence to say out of my mouth, based on only 6 months ago's worth of evidence of that not being a thing. If they're not going to step up and help him, then we're going to be in trouble. Walshy just on all the makes in the 3-point shooting. He also did make a contested 3 after a whistle, like a dead ball 3 from the left corner in the second half as well. I was clocking all the Walshy movements.
There we go.
Just noted that as well. So it was butter as well. But I guess like what was thematic about the early season struggles was not so much the rebounding, because it wasn't. What was the disparity in rebounding? It was
we destroyed them on the offensive glass tonight.
Yeah, but like, it was. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I mean, like they had a lot more defense than us tonight because they had a lot more misses to collect than we did.
That's true. But the poor shooting of Derek White and Peyton Pritchard in this one, so Peyton Pritchard 4 of 14, Derek White 3 of 12. It's like kind of harks back to the poor start. It's like you can do so much, and all of the like schematics and the ball zipping around, and all the great things that create those good looks that you referred to. Obviously, at the head of that spear is just like elite shot making, and we had just a really nice stretch of that. So bit of a, I don't want to say regression to the mean because it's well and truly below like their shooting efficiency averages, but it's just like not going to get it done with like this little amount of talent compared to years prior.
Yeah, no, like it's just a tough kind of equation when Pritchard and Derek White shoot that bad. And it's like Pritchard had 5 boards and 7 assists tonight. I thought he had some nice plays. Should have had more assists, honestly, if Hauser could hit a shot. But yeah, we're always looking for reasons we lost this one. And sometimes it's as simple as bro, RJ had it with the 16 for 61. You can't have Pritchard, Derek, Hauser, Simons all be that cold.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to shoot 53s and you're going to shoot 28% on them, it's going to create a difficult, way for you to win. And then on the flip side, literally Bobby Portis could have missed a shot.
Yeah,
it was insane.
We've seen that before,
bro. I don't know if we've ever seen the 11 for 13, 5 for 6 from 3, and then at the same time, Kyle Kuzma was 13 for 17. Bobby Portis, I can kind of accept more because he's a good offensive player. Mm-hmm. He's had really big games and really big moments up in the finals. Kyle Kuzma, I guess that's technically kind of true. I don't think he's had games like Bobby Portis has in the finals, and it was in the bubble, so it doesn't count for Kyle Kuzma. But there's certain players that when they hit shots and they get hot against you, it feels like you're just being shot in the chest. And Kuzma is in tier 1 of that, for me at least. Kuzma, Russell Westbrook, Josh Giddey used to be in that category. He's kind of come around from that perspective. I'm trying to think of other guys. Mitchell Robinson hitting a 3 would kind of fall into that category, but that's kind of different. Josh Hart hitting 3s. When Josh Hart hit 4 for 4 in that first half of the Knicks game the other week, that's kind of the same category because the dude's barely been able to hit a shot for a whole season. Yeah. Guys like that aren't good offensive players, when they go nuts, you're like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and then when it's bullshit, essentially. Fuck off. You aren't this good. You're never this good. Why us? What happened cosmically is happening to make this a thing right now? And we saw it tonight. I'll maybe add Kevin Porter Jr. in there, who is more of a bucket than those guys, but just, allegations suggest he's quite a dodgy character. I think there's a connection to Jaylen Brown through that as well, and it got quite spicy in the third quarter with KPJ and Bobby Portis, I should say, and Jaylen Brown, which I don't think that helped us. I was a little concerned about this when that happened. That is Jaylen Brown, not that he had a bad game at all. He obviously had a bad third quarter, but is he going to get swept up in this energy in the wrong way? And I think he kind of did. It's not like he completely went on to shit the bed, but it certainly didn't help his game, I thought.
I don't know what I just did. Apologies there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's Jalen. He didn't go full tunnel mode Miami Heat game 7 on us, but there was definitely we had the Kuzma to Jalen. This is not a stream comment in the first half. So Kuzma's already feeling chirpy, which I hate. And then
I miss that.
And then there was the Kevin Porter Jr. to put it kind of not a dirty hit, but put a hard foul on Jalen in that third quarter, and Jalen tried to force the issue afterwards. And I didn't necessarily hate Jalen trying to force the issue, but it just unraveled. And because he's been so good, and he what did he end up? Yeah, as you said, he's still had a 30-point game on insane efficiency. So it's funny, the box score for a few guys is awesome, and then the other end of the spectrum is just a complete train wreck. Jalen and Walsh and Cater, just stop looking at below that on the box score. If you showed me those 3 guys at the top, 5 offensive rebounds for Cater, only 2 fouls, and I see Walsh with 8 for 10 and Jalen 10 for 17, I'm like, we probably won.
Yeah.
Wrong. Very wrong.
We didn't get the Hugo magic either. I'm just picking up items from this game from the scrap bin now. But last minute Hail Mary from Joe Mazzulla, chuck in Hugo, maybe hope for the best, because he's kind of turned things around and made us go on runs in the past. Didn't get any energy there, so it just wasn't our night.
Baylor Scheinman, do you know? Does anyone in the chat know how many minutes you need to qualify for a Tony Snell? Because Baylor Scheinman, 8 minutes and 16 seconds, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 0 turnovers, 0 fouls.
Call in. Let us know the minute threshold there. But it's 8 minutes, 16 seconds. Got to be pretty close there.
Pretty close.
Nothing from
You'd
Baylor
like to collect something. something that's even more embarrassing. Anthony Simons, 26 minutes. 0 fucking rebounds.
Yeah.
0 fucking rebounds. Come on, dude.
His game was a big fat fucking 0 anyway.
God damn.
Like, and that, it's very it's very telling looking at the boards there from Anthony Simons, but he really gave us like less than nothing in this game. I know we've kind of already done the Anthony Simons segment, but just like
Anthony Simons.
So disappointing. 27 million. What are we doing?
It's an effort stat. I'm grand final, Division 3 men's league on someone who's like,
by the way.
Thank you, champ. What up? And I'm guarding like a 6'1" dude who's like trying to mash me on the offensive glass. He got 1 rebound over me all game. I got like 5 boards in a 40-minute game where the clock's running. I'm 5'7" with so many problems in my body. Are you kidding me with 0 rebounds?
I know, it's insane.
Come on, dude. Pritchard had how many? 5. God damn it. Josh Minor only had 1. Come on, man. But we know that he gets a kind of a pass because of how good he typically rebounds.
Well, yeah, and that if there's a strong breeze, he might kind of get blown off his spot as well because he's such a slight figure. But Anthony Simons, he's more tenured as well. Like he should have some nose for boards, you would think. But I mean, it's not the only thing to highlight from this game. Pretty fucking disappointing. But we needed something from Simons in this one. Got nothing. Maybe a quick look at the upcoming schedule before we go.
I haven't got your Tatum thoughts anymore. Since the since the last show, we got because if you're on the Patreon, me and Spoonie did like a 40-minute film deep dive of Jordan Walsh. If that's something you're interested in, I recommend signing up to the Patreon. We did off-ball movement, we did short roll, we did screen navigation, we did review contests, like you name it, we did it. 40 minutes of just like watching Jordan Walsh tape. So get onto that. And we also talked about like the Tatum clips that came out yesterday. But obviously, most of you aren't subscribed to the Patreon because you are cowards and refuse to pay us money.
You'll also fund our Vegas trip as well for Summer League.
Just kidding. Totally fine if you don't. We love you no matter what. Thank you for listening. Please like.
You should subscribe to the Patreon. Please like the stream as well. There's like 100 so people here. Like, please hit that like button because it helps us. I think the algorithm goes like, okay, people like this, and it puts it in front of more people. So there's like a sort of snowball effect. So please do that. Watching the Walshy 40-minute breakdown on the train ride home from work, and then I put the audio back on last night, fell asleep to it because it's just like, dude's talking Walshy.
Let's go.
Had the best night's sleep of my life. Woke up, kept listening to it. Seriously, 40 minutes of like, here's everything amazing about Walshy. And it is objective. It's like, here's some things he could be doing better. But leave it to you guys at First of the Floor to do like the definitive Jordan Walsh breakdown. It's on the Patreon. You join the Patreon, you get access to the Discord as well, which is, for my money, like the best online community for Celtics fans out there. To the point where we had to put it behind the Patreon just to sort of control the entry and the influx into that environment. But definitely go check that out. The Tatum thoughts.
David Rasp in the chat just now. I sense that Simons is beginning to lose Jake's support.
Very intuitive, David.
I'm trying to give him. That pisses me off so much because 6'5" guy that can be in the dunk contest doesn't fucking rebound. Anyway, we've covered it. Jason Tatum yesterday or the day before on his Instagram posts 2 days ago posts clips of him playing 1v1 and looks like pretty much like Jason Tatum. And then we get more 1v1 stuff the following day from Gary Washburn, I think was the first one that had it. And he's like, the fact that he posted the soon thing and then posted all the clips on Instagram, like that's different to the media posting clips of him working out. It also means that I'm guessing that he's like now working out in front of everybody, whereas he wasn't before. We would have been seeing these clips the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening.
Yeah, we don't like tend to sensationalize things on this show, excluding Jordan Walsh, which was done, like I say, between when Mark Tatum called his name and when he got to the podium. And for me personally, some Shemi Ojale stuff back in the early days of this pod as well, because I was a believer. 'Cause how could he not succeed
So
with
was
that
I.
body and those muscles? But I digress. The Jason Tatum situation, you touched on this, I think, on the last pod, Jake, but like there was all of this sort of like PR, for lack of a better term, around Tatum's recovery leading up to like, and then throughout the preseason, and then it went silent as the season started because, like you said, he didn't want to in any way sort of define the season for the Celtics by, making it about his recovery or take away from what the guys were doing on the court, which is awesome. Very smooth, well played, good move, Jason Tatum. Suddenly, reemergence. Jason Tatum content. He's back on the court. He's working out 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, etc. Why would that suddenly come up again, Jake? Unless the return was imminent. I would be surprised if he did not return by the end of January, given it's like early, like what's the 12th of December here, the 11th in the US. There's a lot of time left, and he's already like clearly like physically capable. I know like NBA game speed is a different thing, but they have ways of simulating this. And then once you get back on the court, there's like minutes restrictions and other forms of ramp up in a live setting as well. So the end of January is still a long way away. The team is doing quite well if he's healthy. And is it Drew Smith that you keep referring to as well? Like the timeline has been proven. Speed bridge, like similar.
We still don't know about the speed bridge
for Drew Smith
or anyone.
Okay, thank you for correcting me because that is important. But just the signs are pointing to like, again, why would this all reemerge if it wasn't around the corner?
Totally. And again, there's an NFL player that tore his Achilles the day either after or before Jason Tatum, and is like either going to play this week or next week for the Baltimore Ravens. Right. So I think we just need to readjust before there were ACL injuries, that basically once you got that injury, your career was over. And if you returned, you would never be the same. Now getting an ACL injury, as Ben Vallis can attest to, you return better than ever.
Oh, and so sure, in some certain cases, in other cases, not at all.
Like Adrian Peterson, Gronkowski, Jamal Murray, like there's so many examples. ACLs they just solved it. It was probably only a matter of time before they solved the Achilles thing. And obviously we can't confirm that they have done that yet. But like Drew Smith is having a career year for the Miami Heat. And he tore his Achilles and is a similar age to Tatum. So like
bodes well.
It bodes well. And, again, I'm not an expert, but I do, as someone's been recovering from their own injuries and stuff and like being around physios and a lot, it's like the ramp up generally is you add a new layer of loading and intensity to your recovery and rehab, and it's like incremental. So you go 1v1 is like step one, right? I guess. And they're going to wait another week to 2 weeks and see how his body responds. And then it's going to be 2-on-2, 3-on-3. And like if every extra 1v1 to 5v5 is a week to 2 weeks, on the long end, it's 2 weeks for each ramp up stage. For impressive athletes like Jason Tatum, it's more like 1 week. For me, it's 2 weeks of very slow loading. For Jason Tatum, it's like, 3 days later, his body's reacting totally fine to the increased load. And in 4 more days, we'll go to 2-on-2. That just brings us to the end of January, middle of February, like pretty comfortably at the, like we can see it with our eyes of how he's playing now. So the only argument is just like, it's scary and I don't want him to get injured. I don't want him to be the best version of himself. And I honestly understand that mentality, but it's just not the reality of how you approach injury.
Yeah. If you're back, you're back. If you're cleared, you're cleared to play. Why would you not play if you were cleared to play? Unless it was like, 2 weeks left to go in the season and you were trying to get a low C. And we know that that's kind of out the door now. So I think like the Celtics front office are really closely guarded. Take it from me. Every time I reach out to their PR team, they tell me to get fucked. They don't want any access getting in there as well. So like when Tatum returns to practice, which will be like, speaking of that tiered recovery system, the like game speed simulation step before like playing, presumably, will we even hear from their PR team that has happened? Because there's a huge portion of practice that happens before the press is allowed into the Outback Center. So we might just get the injury report tweet, Jason Tatum, like questionable or doubtful or probable or whatever it might be, and then he'll play, and that'll be the sort of first. Well, it'll all happen on one day, is what I'm saying. Probably late January, if I had to guess.
Well, I know your boy Dominic Wilkins. You've been citing since the beginning of this as well. Like he wasn't the same explosive athlete, but he was also older. The Ryan Missilo show and Chris Mannix was on it the other day, and I didn't catch it. It popped up on my YouTube algorithm today. I'm guessing because of all the Tatum injury stuff. But Russillo asked him, and this is before the Tatum videos had come out, is Tatum going to come back? And Mannix, I'm not sure if it was a Freudian slip, but he's like, said he's playing 1v1, he's playing 3v3. He said 3v3.
Yeah.
And if that's true, then like he's fucking playing 3v3. Like, and it plays into what you're talking about, in what we're only seeing is snippets of what else is actually happening. Like he could be going pretty much close to full speed already. It wouldn't, shock me. So it does. Yeah. I want him to just be fully cleared, but it feels like it's not out of the realm of possibility that he's just back. Like it feels like Christmas is like not out of the realm of possibility at the rate that we're seeing. That would surprise me. I think January is like on the higher end still, but again, late January wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, it just feels like imminent, and which is why I'd be surprised if we got through January without him returning. But it's obviously based in no form of knowledge or information at all, other than vibes. But that's the backbone of the show, so that's what I'm sticking with. Great way to sort of turn those vibes around, I suppose in this short-term instance where we're talking about a Bucks loss, and like the obvious takeaway is that the guys know that Jason Tatum is coming back very soon, so they didn't have to play as hard as they've been used to lately.
Absolutely.
That's what happened tonight. Standing on that word, Jake. Any final takeaways or thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Is that a sneaky problem with Jason Tatum coming back? Like this Celtics team is playing harder than like any team since the second half of the 2022 team, I would say. Like that Robert Williams, Marcus Smart Defensive Player of the Year. That team was just like so insane defensively. And the last couple of years, they were awesome, but the level of intensity night to night wasn't as the same as this team. Just Jason Tatum provide this layer of everything's going to be fine because we just win most of our games when we all play together. False sense of security.
Was he on the bench tonight? I didn't clock him.
No, I haven't seen him on the bench as much recently.
And what does that mean? Does that support our theory, or does that go against it?
Well,
he's off getting ready. He's getting his
uniform. That's what I'm saying, right? Like before, he was at every game because he wasn't close to coming back, and now that he is close to coming back, he's busy. He's working even more.
Yeah. You can't be on the bench if you've got to be in the lab getting right.
Yeah,
we'll see. All right, I feel good now, Jake. Thank you.
I feel good. You're welcome.
The people watching also feel good. Any final thoughts? Final takeaways?
Yes, we sacrificed this game so the bounce back Celtics could beat the Pistons, because if I gave you the option of winning this Bucks game or winning the Pistons game, it's easily the Pistons game, because no one gives a shit about this game except for Celtics fans and Bucks fans. No one cares. It's a random night. Bucks didn't have Giannis. No one was watching this game. People are going to check the box score and be like, oh, that's weird. The Celtics couldn't hit a shot and the Bucks had a magnet ball. That happens.
Yeah, that only works though if we now go on and beat the Pistons, which
which we're going to do.
But then after that, it's we got the Heat. I'm really excited about the Heat game because I've heard a lot about the new way in which they're playing offense, and so interested to see how we match up against that. The Raptors' potential revenge game.
They've lost 4 in a row now. The Heat. They've kind of
fuck me then.
Yeah, fallen off.
Then we got Pacers, Blazers, Jazz, Kings, Clippers, Bulls, and then the Nuggets, unfortunately. But a nice little stretch there, which hopefully we take more seriously than we did against the Giannis-less Bucks tonight.
Well, yeah, it's just, the only other game that felt like this tonight, and this didn't feel like the Nets game they lost. The Nets game was like a let go of the rope game. I thought they still played hard enough to win this game. It's just I thought that this was just a mismake league when it got out of hand in that third quarter. I don't feel too bad about this game. The Bulls have lost 7 in a row. Man, this is why the first week. I'm eventually going to learn this lesson. The first 2 weeks of the season, don't matter.
Yep. Was it like
My dad
Magic
agrees.
2022? They started off like 7-0, and everyone was like, "What the fuck's going on in Orlando?" And then they just like lost 10 games in a row.
It was like the Jazz one year started like 12-3 like a couple years ago and ruined their draft pick because they were bad after that. Yeah, that's why it's still like as excited as we've been. We have also been like, it just feels scary to overdo it, but we're still reacting to how well they're playing at the same time. So
that's where I've messed up. I totally let go of that sort of measured, like, oh, go easy. I'd let myself fall into the pool, and now I gotta get out and dry myself off and get myself right.
Yeah, look, the segment that you came up with were the 10 most amazing, incredible things about the Celtics. I was like, yes, I'm so happy for Ben.
Yeah,
he's back.
I'm back. I'm gonna go back into exile now. All right, we'll leave it there. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to Mr. Eisenberg as well, joining us late. We see you there in the comments. Jake Eisenberg, love your work, man. Until next time, go Celts.